What do you do when a stranger you just meet sends out a masked cry for help? I invite him to share a cigar. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine today, and we came across one of his old longtime friends. He introduced me, and then he asked his friend how he's been. His friend's response was a little odd. He said, "I've been drinking a lot." Now, depending on the type of lifestyle that you've got or your history, that may have been some kind of inside joke or whatnot, but it didn't feel like that for me as an outsider. It just seemed a little odd. And my friend responded very cordially and kind of said, "Oh, well, there's that." And then he went on to explain about how he'd gone to the doctor, and the doctor talked about his liver and being concerned. And then he talked about the amount of drinks you needed to have in order to be considered an alcoholic. And it was just a long process of discussing his alcohol consumption. While we were talking, I listened to see if there were any other clues that may give some insight as to what's going on in his life, if he's been struggling with something, if there's been some catastrophe, or if there was something that would have caused an increase in drinking. And I just couldn't find anything, but I just saw somebody who looked like they needed help. As we were leaving, my buddy tried to encourage him to quit drinking and said, "Hey, we still need you around, man. You've got a lot to do, so you really need to try and cut back on the drinking." I just met the guy, but I felt compelled to not just leave him hanging. And so as we were leaving, I said, "Hey, if you're looking for a night away from drinking, you're welcome to join us sometime for a cigar." Now, I know some of you are thinking, whenever you're smoking a cigar, you got to have a drink, but I don't have a drink with my cigars. I don't like what it does to me. I like the clear-headedness that I get whenever I smoke a cigar, but if I add alcohol into it, my senses are dulled, especially whenever I'm with other people. I can't have the type of conversation that I really do enjoy. When you're smoking a cigar, your nerves are calmed, but your head is still clear. At least mine is. I've shared that sentiment with a lot of other cigar smokers, and they feel the exact same way. The beauty of a cigar is whenever you're sitting there with somebody, it takes you a while to smoke it, and you inevitably have really, really good conversation. Now, for those of you who've watched me for a while, you know that my passion is really to help connect people together, specifically guys, and to encourage masculinity, challenge each other to be better versions of ourselves, to challenge each other to rise up and stand for things, to push each other so we can better ourselves, our families, our communities, and ultimately the world. When I started smoking cigars, I thought that it would be a nice draw because guys typically like cigars. They like the idea of cigars. They think of them as a masculine thing. But I did not realize that it was actually a culture, that within the culture of cigars, one of the things that every single cigar smoker that I talk to, specifically the ones who go to lounges, the thing they love the most is the conversations that happen over cigars. Now, I share that story about the guy who I met today because I want to challenge you. If there is anybody that you come across, if you ever see anybody who is hurting, who's struggling, and you don't quite know what to do, you feel like I should do something, but I don't know what to do, invite them to do something that you enjoy. Find something that you are really passionate about and just put out the invitation to give them an escape from whatever it is that may be holding them captive. Maybe they're stuck in a relationship and they really need time away so that they can clear their head. Maybe they are stuck in a habit or an addiction and they can't get out of it. And you know that you can't necessarily say, "Hey, I'm going to help walk you through every single step. I'm going to be your 12 steps." But you can say, "I will provide an opportunity for you to take a first step out." Change something little. I can't say what will happen with this guy. I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity to sit down and share a cigar with him. But I hope that if he's sitting there getting ready to have a drink and he thinks there's nothing else to do, there's nobody that cares about me, what other options do I have besides just drinking the night away? That maybe my words will come to mind and he'll reach out to my buddy and text and say, "Hey, are you guys getting together anytime soon to have a cigar? I'd love to join you." Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you appreciated the content tonight. Hopefully it got you thinking about some new ways that you can extend an offer of help to somebody around you, and maybe you'll look out for somebody who you never thought you could have offered something to them, and you find that you really do have something you can give. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up, put something down in the comments section, share it on social media, and I will see you next time when we can share a cigar and change the world.